Proper jazz notes.
Whatever.
I don't know what happened there.
I don't know what happened there
Let's just play 3-chord rock in future.
It just tickles you when you get to that point where you go, why are we doing, yes, C is fine, and that's the next normal chord in progression, and then you go to an F minor all of a sudden. What is that all about? And you go, oh my God, it's not normal. And then your brain just goes...
You know what I do like about this? And I think Gretsch Guitars summon this. It's like, so what do you play on a Gretsch guitar? It's like, I think if you have a Strat or a Les Paul, maybe even less a Les Paul, like a Strat or an SG, even a Tele, it's like, yeah, this is the lane. This is the lane we're in.
Yeah.
And then you get a Gretsch and you go, am I jazzing? Am I rockabillying? Am I rock and rolling in? Am I playing heavier stuff than that? I don't know.
Yeah, am I going... Am I doing any of that stuff?
Yeah.
Am I doing Chet Atkins singing?
And I kind of like that because, interestingly, I know from conversations going way back to the people at Gretsch, they were kind of like, it kind of annoys them when everybody grabs a Gretsch guitar and just plays like Stray Cats kind of rockabilly stuff, because they're just like, no, it's like... So that's why I think it's like, where are we going? I don't know. Where do you want to go?
Anyway, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Andertons TV. I'm Pete, and
I'm Lee.
There you go. So please like and subscribe for more weird videos like this.
Yes.
New Gretsch.
3 new guitars. Yeah. Well, you know, newish.
Well, not as you look at them, you go, oh, what's new about those? So that's why I was going to literally grab my...
These are all shapes that you've seen in the Electromatic series in the past, but for 2022... Gretsch have upgraded them, we've got some new colours. I don't recall seeing a 12-string before, but maybe we did.
There might have been, I'm not sure, because I think if there was one, I seem to remember something about we couldn't get it.
Maybe.
And when we got them, they were sold out, so we never managed to video them.
3 different guitars here.
Yeah.
We've got the single-cut, big-bodied 5420, G5420.
Yeah.
Very familiar kind of Gretschy vibe.
Yeah.
We've got the slightly thinner, but still... sort of hollow, double cut, so the 5422, G5422. And then we've got a 12-string variant of the 5422.
Yeah,
and we'll go
with a different
through,
trem system on it. Can you imagine if this had a Bigsby on it?
Yes, I can imagine trying to get a 12-string in tune. Yeah, that's a hard tail, or a floating tail anyway, but you know, a non-tremolo.
Yeah.
Some beautiful colours, of which we do have all the colours, but not in all the models, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you could have this fine-looking guitar in either of these colours, or
a walnut stain, which this is here.
Can you get the sunburst in this one as well?
No, there's the 3
just
colours.
3 colours. Okay.
Yeah, the 3 colours in that one, but you do get a left-handed version of the white.
Ooh. So that's those. Or if you want the deeper-bodied one, again, you can have the 4 different colours.
Yeah.
Walnut strain. That's what happens when you're a bit constipated.
Yeah.
When you do a walnut strain. Walnut stain. I love this silver and the blue, way more contemporary looking.
So that's called an airline silver and an azure metallic.
Azure metallic. Or you can get the big body in the orange stain.
And you'll get the orange stain as a left-handed as well.
In the big body?
Yes, in the big body.
And then the 12-string, what 2 colours have you got in the 12-string?
You've got a walnut stain and the one that we have here, which is the single barrel burst.
Single barrel burst.
Single barrel burst. It's actually nice to refer to this, because then at least you know you're getting it right, if the notes are right. Yeah. So that's really cool, I like that.
Now, all the guitars have, you know, just kind of had refinements.
Yes.
So things like, you know, the internal structure of the guitar's been improved a little bit, the timbers, the pickups have been... Yeah, trestle blocks. So I guess people are probably familiar with a design that is... either center block, so a solid piece of wood that goes down the middle, and it's just the sides that are hollow, so that would be like a 335 style. Or you might be familiar with one that's completely hollow, like a casino or something like that. This is what's called is it trestle block?
Yeah, so it looks like a pair of square pants, basically.
Well, I was going to say it's like a trestle table, isn't it?
Well, if you look at this here,
We're going to do that on
See,
screen.
square set of pants, right? It looks
Right.
like a pants out of Roblox or something like that. So it's literally, I don't know if you can get that on screen there. So this bit here will sit underneath the trim block here, and
the bridge.
So the bridge, and then you've got a thin, maybe 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters, depending on how you seem.
Oh, you mean 17 centimeters?
Yeah, so it's got 17 centimeters, and it's just a long hair to hold, that sits on top. So that's got something to sit on here.
Look, hey. Let's just give you some tones. They are really lovely construction. I mean, price-wise, this whole range sits, I think, $750 is the starting price for these. They go up to about $850, $870, something like that for these. 12 string is the same price.
I mean, I don't know if you want to know all the refinements.
Tell us about the refinements.
They're refined laminated maple bodies, you know, so they got a curvier, classier look in the back here. Ooh. So it got slightly, that's all refined. You've got the trestle block bracing, which we just talked about. So it's improved stability and top and back connection for better sustain and attack. You've got a maple neck with laurel fingerboard. And now you've got thumbnail inlays on the 5420 and humpback. Those are thumbnails, aren't they? These are thumbnails here, as you can see, when you put your thumbnail over. And then you've got a Graphtec nut bone in there, and you've got all new FT5E Filtertron pickups, so they are truer to the original.
Let's have a little...
And you got treble bleed on the master. So there's a lot there, and new finishes, of course. So a lot going on.
A few chords.
Underneath.
So I've got all the controls turned up full. As you know, on Gretsch Guitars now, the little groovy quirk is this several volume controls here. So a volume for each pickup and then a master volume for ultimate blending. I've got everything on full.
Oh yes.
That is so
ringy
and acoustic and yummy. I love it. You also mentioned now that the bridges are no longer completely free floating. So these old-fashioned design sort of wooden bridges with the metal bridge on top of it would historically have only been held onto the guitar by the force of the strings, meaning that when you take the strings off, the bridge falls off, and you've got to remember to put it back in exactly the right place to keep the intonation in.
Yeah.
I don't know what methodology they've used, whether it's pins or glue or whatever, but on the modern ones now, or on this latest range, this bridge is now stuck to the guitar.
Yeah, it's called Adjustomatic Bridge on Secured Laurel Base.
Secured Laurel Base.
That's it.
There we go.
And a B60 trim or G cut out tailpiece, which is on this.
It's such an amazing experience because I'm sitting here and I'm hearing like 90% of the volume coming from my amp, but I'm hearing 10% of the guitar as well because it's quite loud. And it's a really different vibe of sounding guitar. I like it a lot. So, Master Daddy, then
Master Daddy.
One for this pickup. Oh, one for this pickup. And then an overall tone, which makes sense. With some grunt. These are quite low output. That's my light speed pedal, and if I had humbuckers into that, I'd get quite a bit more
you get more gain on it.
I think that's why I like the clean sound so much, because it's obviously they're big, bright, articulate sounding pickups without too much gain.
Yeah, love a Filtertron.
If I want more gain, I'd go to a Dane and then... I reckon I could get that to feedback pretty easy.
But that's not that gainy still.
No, I agree.
And I can hear that guitar.
If I chain them up.
Good old G.
Can I just say as well, I was looking at the decibel meter, and we've been referring to the decibel meter quite a bit in recent videos about where we think our relative volumes are.
Yeah.
And loads of comments have come in about going, oh yeah, but you can only play at this decibel meterage in a wedding venue, and you can only do that. And I think everybody's missing a basic understanding of the position of the decibel meter is really, you know, if I had a decibel meter right in front of an amplifier versus over in the corner versus at the back of a theatre, like a wedding venue, they wouldn't all read the same number. You know, it's all relative to where it is. So you please, if you follow this video and you see a comment in another video, when we talk about what we're reading on our decibel meter, it only applies to in here. It doesn't mean that if we took that amp, put that volume into a bigger venue and put the decibel meter right at the back, that's what it would read at. So I just thought, I saw it out of the corner of my eye and thought, I've been meaning to say that on a comment for ages. But
and isn't there also something about the decibels, once they go up to a certain 110 or 1.4 or something, it goes up double every
that's how,
so just
it's a sound, it's a measure of the sound pressure level. So the closer you put it to the sound source, the greater the sound pressure level is. When you see someone saying, oh, Concorde, a jumbo jet is X. It's everything is normally 1 meter away. The scientific way is it's 1 meter away from the sound source.
Who stood there with the meter right behind the engine?
And
that was
every extra 3 decibels is double the perceived volume. So 90 to 93 is double. 93 to 96 is double again. So that's why when we talk about guitar amplifiers, I'm so bored. I've bored myself.
Just Google it.
Go and Wikipedia. What does decibels mean?
And don't Wikipedia anything. That's just rubbish.
Anyway, I must admit, this is a very comfortable guitar to play. It has a sort of a lacquered back of the neck. Where's it made? It's made in China.
Oh no, Lee. Oh no. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. If it's a great guitar, what does matter where it's made?
I think, honestly,
it
doesn't really bother me anymore. But I guess maybe it bothers you. I don't know.
But I would like to say that there in a walnut stain, given that the Disney Plus channel has put out this Beatles documentary recently, it's going to sell by the bucket load.
Well, it's very George Harrison.
Very George Harrison. Great guitar, man.
Bigsby. It's funny, isn't it, with Bigsby's? I kind of. You're better than me at Bigsby. So is this a modern one where you hook the strings over, or this is the vintage one?
The hook is the vintage one, yeah.
Right.
So this is the B60. So I think that's the same as No, it's not the same as that one. They've got some different. So that one, we've got another Gretsch in here, which is the Pro range, which has got a. Which has got the string-through Bigsby system.
We've had this for ages, so I'm not sure how. Whether this is the same anymore.
That's the modern version of it. We're taking the plate off it just to give it a bit different look. But you can see the strings are strung through there, and these ones they've got the little pin you have to hook the string on. So,
can I just say as well, just for those eagle-eyed among you, this is the Pro Series version of that guitar, not this guitar. And actually, interestingly, it's a little thinner.
Yeah,
it's a little thinner, isn't it?
But I think that's the Pro version. It's got, like the locking tuners and all that different stuff, which is which a pro musician would probably find more.
Anyway,
so
you know what I do like about this as well? We've been messing around. For me, where you've got the Bigsby, where there's not a massive break angle on the string, so it only needs to come up a little bit to go over the bridge. The tuning is way better than when you've got those other ones where it forces the strings down and then back up again to go over.
There's a lot to resistance. There's too much resistance.
And you get a lot more play, a lot more movement of the tremolo arm, don't you? Excuse me.
Yeah, that's the little spring there.
Well, you don't really bend backwards on a Bigsby, do you? You just sort of go downwards.
See, there you go. So that's what happens, isn't it? That's still all right. Yeah, still all right. Yeah.
I like this guitar a lot. Anyway, so that is the 5422.
Yeah, and this is the 5420T. Great colours. I love the blue. It's just it's a really Brian Setzer style looking guitar, So here we go. We pitch and hold again. I want to check something you didn't check. The treble bleed in this guitars. Yeah, I mean,
it loses a tiny bit.
It loses a little
without
bit.
the treble bleed, I think you lose a lot more treble.
Yeah, you do. I mean, I haven't compared it to the old ones, but you know, the treble bleed is basically so when you turn down your master volume, if anyone is interested, is the little cap that sits in. So when you roll down the volume, you don't lose treble. You know, so it doesn't just go. So, but I mean. So this is a bigger boxed guitar, it's a wider box, and you've got one cutaway, so it should sound slightly different from that one, I guess. Really super easy to play. I always like playing these guitars because they, out of the box, they are always set up really nicely. I don't know why, but... That's the neck pickup, here's the middle. I just like them, they're great, aren't they?
You know what I always love on Gretsch's, all the little detail, you know, the embossed knobs with the G on it.
Yeah.
There's just even little fine detail on pickup surrounds.
Yeah. Gold
You've got
hardware.
the engraving on the back of the machine heads, everything. I mean,
this here, I love the that around in the headstock.
Yeah, there's a sort of an old story that says, you know, back in the 50s and 60s when Chet Atkins and Les Paul were the two kind of you know, like superstar guitar players of their time, that they were always trying to outdo each other with how blingy their guitars were. And there's, you know, I think a lot of stuff that goes onto a Gibson and onto a Gretsch that maybe some guitar players would go, why do you need that? Why would, you know, why are you paying for that and that and that? And it all, I think, stems back to this idea is that, you know, those two players were just like, you know, they needed to look the more blingy of the other one. But
two amazing players as well.
Crazy.
I wonder if Les Paul is the best-selling signature guitar ever.
Oh, by a mile.
Somebody was saying that. What's the best-selling signature guitar ever? I'm like, surely there's a Les Paul.
I think he sold. In fact, I say I think I'm pretty sure I know he sold his naming rights.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's
that
not
was
like
a shame, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it's not like he carried on getting paid a percentage. I think it was just
Can
that was
you
it,
imagine?
a one-off fee. Thank you very much.
What,
We
like
just called it
200
a Les Paul
quid or something? Back
I
then?
don't know what it was. But
anyway, let's try some gain and see if we can get a bit of is that like Brian Setzer style? I mean, I can't play anything like him because he's incredible. A bit of low gain from Morning Glory. Ooh. Am I full up on everything here? That's a bit...
a little darker, isn't it?
Yeah, a little darker. You know, Lee, you own a Gretsch. I don't own a Gretsch still.
I've got
you've got that
like
one.
a 10, 12-year-old version of that in this colour.
Yeah, I thought you did, yeah.
Which was I inherited that from my late father-in-law.
Oh, that is lovely. So that is sentimental. Let's do a bit of Rat. I mean, just why not? That's fun.
Not necessarily that tonal style, but you know,
like it.
Billy Duffy from the Cult was like a high gain. I mean, a big gainy rock, you know, tone. Used like a White Falcon, which you know.
He's got a signature. He had a signature anyway. He must still have one. I don't know, but maybe you can.
I'm trying to think who else. I mean, Malcolm Young was another well-known Gretsch user, AC/DC, although not necessarily sure he ever really used that style. But yeah, they are. I don't think there's really I don't think you can. No, you can, but I don't think you should pigeonhole a Gretsch into a certain lane, because it's like scratch the surface and there's someone from every genre playing this kind of guitar.
That's a good lead into this comment, because Rabir did a video, and I think we did a video as well. It's like, is Gretsch just a one-trick pony? I think we have done a video once, and Rabir did it.
You and Mick and everybody.
Me, Mick, and Rabir, and you were in the video. I think.
I don't think I was.
Yes, you were. I think
I didn't pass the audition for that one. So, right, come on. I want to hear the 12-string.
Oh, yes.
And the reason I want to hear the 12-string is because there are very few electric 12-strings on the market.
Well, is that?
And Pete started tuning this yesterday and has nearly finished doing it.
I've been spending 20 hours yesterday crying.
Wow, actually that's not true in fairness. This is...
I tuned it a bit and then Oz tuned it a bit, but it wasn't too bad when it came out of the box, to be honest. So... And then we need chorus on top of that.
I mean,
it doesn't even sound like there's chorus on it.
So, I mean, I'm sure you guys all know, you know, the whole 12-string deal, but you've got essentially every string has an extra one. So there's 12 strings instead of 6, obviously. The bottom 4 strings have a string tuned an octave above, so your E, A, D, and G.
Yeah.
And your top 2 strings are tuned in unison. And what happens is, because it's basically nigh on impossible to tune the guitar
so
that you've got a perfect octave between each string, or even on the top 2 strings, just perfectly in unison. That very slight different pitch between each string is effectively what a chorus is. A chorus is a very slightly detuned note, and therefore you get that modulation.
Yeah.
So a 12-string is like playing a guitar with built-in chorus.
Yeah.
It's just epic. And you can all think of, I don't know, I suppose everyone, Hotel California.
California,
what's another?
I mean, I can't play it, but...
Well,
and so on and so forth.
I was having a clang here. I was having a conversation with Steve Vai the other day, like I do, and we were talking about does the song need the right guitar to become truly famous? And he was like, I don't think it does, or what, you know. But and you know, you play that song.
Yeah.
Would Hotel California have been as epic if they'd just gone, I'm just going to play it on a 6-string, you know, I think that song is so ingrained, and it's a good example of a song where you go, if in a parallel universe, someone had just gone, we just used a different guitar, would it have become so famous?
Yeah, with Axl Rose singing it.
Huh?
Axl Rose, it was a Guns N' Roses song, Hotel California, instead in a parallel universe.
In a parallel universe,
written by somebody else, you know. Anyway, it's a tool to have in your toolbox. I mean, I've had 12 strings, but it's never been something that I'll go for unless you need something for a session or whatever. And then you can probably sort of duplicate it with a chorus, or you can dub the guitar. So you can play exactly the same on 2 different guitars, or you can put a capo on 12th fret and play the same. That's what I normally do. So put a capo on 12th fret and then you can play G here, and then you play G up there, and then dub the 2, and then it'll sound a bit like a 12 string. So there's ways of getting around it, because it's not easy to play. Your fingers have to press stuff harder down, you know.
That for me has always been the appeal of an electric 12 string. So if you buy an acoustic 12 string, and you've already got a set of say 12 to 56 strings on it, or whatever it is, and then you put another set on to you know, and you're like going, ah! At least with an electric set, the string gauges are lighter, and so is the action better?
you still have to pick 2 strings at a
Yeah.
time, which also is, you know, is also. And also with your, you know, when you try to intonate with your fingers, which I normally do, you try to press a bit lower on some and harder on some. This one, you got 2 strings you have to press down to get them.
What?
So it's just...
With the volume off, is that fun to just sit on your lap and play?
I would just buy an acoustic 12 strings. You can get them, Martin, just
love
them
that.
600, 700, 800 quid, you know, same as this. And yeah, but it's, yeah.
No, I mean, I can absolutely...
I love a 12 string, it's brilliant.
I would say that...
And it looks good.
Yeah, I mean, guitar players, we're all basically mad and addicted to buying guitars.
Yeah.
And for some of us, you know, the ones that maybe have had the addiction for longer, you do eventually sort of go, what shall I buy next? You know, so I've got one of those and I've got one of those and I've got one of those. And that's almost where I think that sooner or later you hit upon a 12 string and just think, I haven't got one of those.
But riddle me this. When we are getting to that point when we go... What?
Would you rather?
Would you rather? No, would you rather? When you get to that point where you go, what am I going to buy next? Why is it that guitar players, when they're wondering what to buy next, why don't they start buying acoustic guitars? Why don't you buy a small body acoustic guitar, a dreadnought acoustic guitar, an orchestra model, one with a cutaway? Why is it we'll have 60 electric guitars, you know, some of us, whatever, but we'll only have 3 acoustic guitars? What is that? Why is that?
Because electric guitars look nicer. Isn't it? Maybe. I mean, I don't know. We digress.
Is that what it is?
Hey, look.
Yeah, we do digress.
So that's it. That was a much longer video than it needed to be.
Always.
Basically, that's exactly every video on our channel. It's much longer than it needs to be. Should we just quickly sort of little noodle out on something?
Yeah,
I think we should use the 12 string.
Should I?
Or I'll play the 12 string and I'll just play chords and then you play something you haven't played yet.
Well, thank you very much for watching and please like and subscribe and watch more videos up in the corner there. And,
links are below to if you want to see some more photos or detailed specs or prices or whatever on any of these guitars, jump on over to the Andertons website.
I'll play this one. Yeah.
Maybe you want a sweatshirt like Pete's glorious, or a tan like Pete's. We can't sell you the tan, but we can sell you the sweatshirt.
Yeah, sweatshirt is cheaper. Fluffed it at the end there.